Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We are here for Tuesday morning, trying to see what's going to be in the market this week. It's a holiday week. And it's a holiday week. Why that's looking like that. Let's change this. Well, we got to share something, don't we? Let's look at our earnings for the week as we wait for folks to come on in. Wait for you to come on in the room. We're here for Tuesday morning. Got some earnings reporting this morning, Walmart being one of them. Home Depot, those are showing up this morning. As I understand it, Walmart did pretty good on their earnings this morning. We'll go over to the main screen and see what Yahoo Finance and those guys have to say about what went on. Let me get this up in the right place. We want to share the screen. Yes, we do. Good morning, y'all. Come on into the room. And let's see. Okay. Looks like Walmart posts upbeat earnings to buy Vizio in a $2.3 billion deal. Vizio. U.S. futures slide as earnings take center stage. NVIDIA earnings could be a pivotal moment for stocks. NVIDIA is coming up. They've gone definitely higher than expected at this point. And then they're going to have earnings here in a couple of days, I believe we just looked at. Good old NVIDIA. Don't necessarily want to jump on the bandwagon, but you don't want to be left out either. That's the difficulty when you see something running like NVIDIA. You're like, I don't want to feel like a bandwagoner, but I ain't trying to be left behind. So what do you do? What do you do when you're in those situations? I don't want to be left behind, but I don't want to appear that I'm just jumping on because other people are jumping on too. S&P future. So let's see what we have here as far as Walmart to buy TV maker Vizio for $2.3 billion to grow its ad business. Walmart beats Wall Street's expected holiday expectations as e-commerce sales soar. Capital One is to acquire Discover Financial Services. That's interesting. That Capital One is going to take over Discover in a $35.3 billion all-stock deal. Home Depot beats earnings estimates even as consumers take on smaller home improvement projects. Yeah, folks aren't necessarily laying out a great bit of cash on different things right now because you're just looking to see what is to come. Tuesday's top analyst calls NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, JetBlue, Disney, and Supermicro. I think Supermicro, that SMC, is that what everybody's been kind of looking at, that SMCI? I'm going to assume that that's what's going on with that. As far as our pre-market goes, the Dow futures are down 0.34%. S&P futures down 0.34%. NASDAQ futures down 0.42%. Oil is green, and the U.S. 10-year is red also. Let me minimize this real quick because I needed to let's put myself back in here. Come on. There we go. There we go. I actually need you to move so I can see. Let's go here with you. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting it together. I actually want to present. I still want that screen, but let's bring this back up. There we go. I think we're there now. Ooh, hey, Richard. Hey, Marsha. I bet it's cold up there in Brooklyn, Mr. Richard. I bet it's cold in Brooklyn. I've been to Manhattan and Brooklyn. It wasn't in the winter though. It wasn't anywhere near as cold. Good morning, Tanya. How are you? I know it's chilly in Brooklyn. Yes. Trying to turn on YouTube so I can see the comments as they come. Want to be able to see the comments too. Where are we? Come on, darling. Y'all hold, please. While this figures out what we're doing. Maybe, maybe not. It's like I can't even find my own channel. Where's my channel? Oh, there we go. Maybe here and here. Okay, there we go. Now I can see. Yes, very cold. I always say, I don't know why people stay in the places where it's super, super cold, but then it's the same for the same reason why I stay in Florida, where it's usually warm, even though it's not warm right now. Yeah, cold, cold, cold. I'll pass. I'm not a fan of the cold. When I lived in China, it was extremely cold, and I vowed when we left there that I wasn't going to live anywhere where it was cold again. So to this point, of course, the Lord, I'm willing to do what the Lord says do, but at this point, we're not going where it's super cold. No, no, no. Me and Mr. P won't be where it's cold. I'll pass. It's cold here in Jacksonville, though. Ain't like it's warm up here. It's kind of cold up here right now, but kind of cool. Woke up this morning to a brisk 32. Brisk. Today is Tuesday. So we have the CV leading index month over month. Good morning, Janae, is today, right? And tomorrow we're going to have FOMC meeting minutes are going to come out tomorrow afternoon. We've got FOMC member Bostic and Bowman are also going to speak tomorrow before those minutes come. Thursday, we've got unemployment claims, flash manufacturing PMI, and flash services PMI. That's going to be on Thursday. Those are the red folders. And then we got an orange folder, member Waller. That's going to be 7:30 at night. The market will be closed. So we have to worry about that. And then Friday, there's nothing on the agenda. So it looks like the things that are on the list for that are, higher volatility makers most likely will be tomorrow's FOMC meeting minutes and the unemployment and PMI on Thursday. So Wednesday, Thursday. Today, maybe we'll just be waiting to see what happens on the, in anticipation of tomorrow. But, again, as I always say, we trade what we see around these parts. Trade what you see around these parts. Let's see what investing.com has to say for today. 3-month bill auction, 6-month bill auction, 52-week bill auction. Those are all today. And then that U.S. leading index I mentioned already at 10 o'clock. So not a whole lot on the list for that either. S&P closed on Friday at 5,005. It was down 24 points, $24, whichever however you want to look at. Something by Amazon left scrambling as Prime members found out about something or other. I watched a video this morning with a young, he's on TikTok. He's a technical analyst, talked about how JP Morgan, did you say Morgan Chase, these guys, Goldman Sachs, he said Goldman Sachs was basically changing the price target to S&P up to 5,200 while they're basically selling. So they're basically trying to get people to continue to buy S&P 500 stuff, taking it up to the price target of 5,200. But while they're saying the price target is 5,200, they're shorting the stocks. And so it can go back down. I thought, well, wow, all this manipulation, so unnecessary. Like, why not just be honest? Don't be trying to, I guess it's all about the money. It's really all about the money. Good morning, Sizzling. Good morning. So S&P closed at 5,005 as I stated. Okay, let's go look to see. We talked about earnings a little bit. Okay, you can close here. Get out the way. There we go. Looking at our earnings this morning. Come on, add to the stage. Pushing the buttons multiple times and then it doesn't want to do right. Walmart had earnings this morning before the open. Home Depot, Axum, Medtronics, Barclays, Dana, Armstrong, KBR, and Fluor. Aftermarket today, we're going to have Palo Alto, Solar Edge, Realty Income. That's a REIT, right? O is the ticker. Teladoc, Innovix, Caesars, looks like Diamondback, and Neo, Toll Brothers, and Medifast is who's next. I remember Medifast being like, or they were like a weight loss thing or something like that. Was that Medifast? That's what I remembered from Medifast. Those are the earnings for today. Look at Adam's numbers. Adam Mancini, we pull his numbers from Twitter. Oh, I bet this is not. That's why that's tripping. Yep. Let's change this real quick. Hope it'll hold on. Lord. There we go. Help me to hold down. Had to get on the right internet stream so that way we can hope it's not interrupted as we talk and speak. Adam is a level to level trader. I think he's a buyer of options. He usually trades the ES. We take his numbers because we're sellers. We take his numbers to look for where price will not go. Okay, and we look at the levels of where price won't go for the day. He trades ES, we trade SPX and XSP. So we look at the numbers to change. There's usually a gap between those two. The gap is wider and smaller depending on what's going on. So I look to see what is the gap between these two, and then we bring them together to put numbers that suit what we're going with SPX. Hey, Adrian. So it says yesterday, a loss of 5,006 to 08 was a short trigger. Now, when he says yesterday, he's talking about the ES futures. Of course, SPX didn't run yesterday, but ES did. So those of you who trade futures goes all the time. I hear a lot of people say that they really enjoy trading futures. I haven't delved into it, so I have no insight into futures. I can only tell you what other people say. But yesterday, the loss of 5,006, 5,008 was the short trigger in SPX. And after the pop to 5,018 target, the trigger hit overnight, seeing a great 20-point overnight sale. The plan today, 49.88 equals support. The bulls want a fast rally here, but unless 5,008 reclaims on it, sets the low. 49.78, 49.66 is the next down. Okay, 49.78, 49.66 are the next down. If you're trading XSP, you can look at 501 as your top number for the call side and 496 as the number for the put side. I wanted to look at SPX 500, but I don't know if SPX 500 is on Thinkorswim or if it's called something else. SPX 500. No, I don't think it's called that. Those who are in my community, let's go find it in TradingView. See if we can find it here. That may give us some insight into what the market may open with today. Let me switch this over to sharing the screen. Okay, SPX 500 is this one here. And if we're looking, SPX 500 shows us the SPX when the market is closed. So it does continue to run. I was looking at the 5-minute chart. We can look at a 15-minute. We're checking out some supports and resistances. Is the plural of resistances, or is it just resistance? Is more than one resistance is still called resistance. Yeah, not resistances. That sounds weird, doesn't it? It wouldn't be resistances. On the 15-minute chart, I see some support at 49.96. Looks like 49. Yeah, I think that's an 86, 49, 86, 49, 90, 49, 94, and then some resistance at 49.97. Of course, you can kind of expect that 5,000 now will be a resistance. It's one of those psychological numbers that you got to bump across. Current price is 49.88.89 if you're looking at SPX in preparation. Well, it closed at 5,000 and something or other, 5,006, I believe I said on Friday. So we're at the 49.80 something. That means we're probably going to have a gap down open. Probably going to have a gap down open on SPX. And then we trade accordingly. Yes, we do. Don't know if you saw my video or you were here live with us on Sunday. Good morning, Tamar. But we talked about last week's SPX and what could be coming this week. I believe we've got our list of possible opportunities for trades. Going to bring that to the screen now. Got a whole lot to choose from. Call credit spreads and put credit spreads. Going to look here. I know you should be able to find something to use in your credit spreads to make some monies this week. You should be able to find some of these, one of these, two of these, four of these to rinse and repeat in order to make you some money this week. Remember, we kind of look for spreads that are going to return at least 10% in premiums. We got the steps in the process, which means you go look at the chart first. We check out the chart first, right? Look for some support, resistance, trends. You want to trade with the trend initially. All right. And then if you want to do the other side and do an iron condor, you're free to do that. Right. So let's see. What do we see on here of interest? Anybody see anything on this list that they want us to take a look at? What do we have on here that's of interest? Now, NVIDIA has earnings coming up. I want to say Wednesday, maybe tomorrow or Thursday. Which day is NVIDIA having earnings? Again, I was mentioning earlier that you don't necessarily want to jump on the bandwagon, but you also don't want to be like, well, I was just standing idly by. NVIDIA has earnings tomorrow after market closes. I see you, Tanya, XLE. NVIDIA has earnings tomorrow after the market closes. And of course, folks are anticipating a big jump up. And I bet you the number of calls, the percentage of calls is probably so much higher than the percentage of puts. But the way the manipulation of the market is set up, it is a thing. It is a thing where stuff gets manipulated. Let's go look at XLE. XLE. We usually start with the daily chart. XLE is energy. This is the energy sector. This is an ETF. Got some lines here. Got us some supports and resistances. Resistance. What is it called? The resistance. I think the plural of resistance is just resistance. It doesn't seem like it should be resistances. Okay, so current price, if we're looking at XLE, was at 85.77. Trend seems to be an upwards moving trend, but it feels like it's been kind of in this zone here for a minute. It might present itself for an iron condor opportunity. It's coming into the top of the Bollinger Bands and coming up to this resistance, which is at 86.74. We've got some good support here, though, at 83.33. Let me switch over to I'm going to switch over to Thinkorswim so that way we could see if there's what kind of money we could maybe doing our trades. Come on, there we go. XLE. Looking for this coming Friday. Look on the single chart. You always want to wait till the market gets around the day, but let's take it down to a smaller time frame so we can see the pre-market. Okay. Okay, this is where it closed on Friday. Close was at 85.59. And now it's kind of dancing around that same spot. Looks like our current price is also 85.57. So it really hasn't done a whole lot outside of Friday's close. Let's go look at trade. I look at the single. At this point, we got a plus minus 2. As far as up, it should, the broker, the implied volatility percentile says it could go up 2 or go down 2, somewhere in between that window, right? So 85.57, we add 2 to that, we're at 87. Oh, good. The XLE is a 50-cent spread. So we could go up to 87.5 as an 81% probability out of the money. Usually we look for at least 75. So between 87 and 87.5 would be good on the call side. But I think based on what we saw, as far as the trend that was going, we thought maybe the trend would still be a little upwards. So it might want to do a put credit spread first. Might want to go with an upwards or a bullish trend. You can see my chart here. We're up here at the top of the Bollinger Band. Might want to go with that. But you're coming right into the resistance area. So it may be, worth waiting to see how it responds up there to see if you can get better premium from the call credit spread side, which would have been our 87.5 we were just talking about. And then if we go down from 85.5, that's going to put us at 83.5. And that has a probability out of the money of 80%. So let's change it to vertical. 83.5, 83.5 is paying, going to pay about $18. Of course, the market's closed right now, so these numbers may change a bit, but that's a put credit spread side if you go down to 83.5. And if you go up to 87.5, looks like it's paying about $6. That means the price must be going down a little bit. Current price is the 85, looks like 85.61 is current, so it's going up a little bit. Okay. XLE looks like it might provide a good opportunity for a trade this week. What I like about the ETFs is that they won't move as wildly as a single stock because the ETF has more things in it. So it's going to still have some volatility, but it won't be like uncomfortable volatility. Looking at 83.5. Yeah, 83.5 I think is looking interesting. Let's look at the chart to make sure 83.5 on the chart is also good. 83.5 on the chart is in this general vicinity. And yeah, I could go with 83.5 is right in here. A lot of support in here. So I could see that. It's hit here a couple of times though. So you definitely would want to see that it doesn't just fall through. But the current price is, 85.5. So you got $2 below here. So yep, 83.5 would be a place that I would be looking in that area as well if I was trading XLE. Good job, Tanya. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon's kind of been hanging in a zone as well. They had a gap here that needed to fill. The gap was between the bottom of this red candle and the top of this green one here, 168, but part of the gap has been filled. So we can go and say that is the now would have been a seller's gap. Prices come up. So that gap is going to provide some resistance at this point. The top of the gap is going to provide some resistance. Well, 172 is going to provide some resistance. And you've also got 174.85 is this resistance. 175.39 was the high. And then for support, you've got the bottom of these candles, which is like 167. So this could off. There's a big old gap down here, though, that, yes, buddy, goes all the way down to 159. It feels like it's big. That's about a 10 point gap from current price to the bottom of that gap. Let's look and see what the broker says. Plus or minus 5 is what's on the implied volatility at this point. Plus or minus 5, which means you expect it to stay below 5 above and above 5 below. That makes any sense. Plus 5 from current price and minus 5 from current price, which means you're probably going to go up to 174.50, 175, or go down as far as 164.50. Looking at probability out of the money numbers, probably will go at 162.5 or 165 on the bottom. Amazon has more of a propensity to go up, seeing that we are working with the earnings that are coming in, not for Amazon, but for NVIDIA. So, things kind of move together. Keep that in mind. And Amazon has been on an upwards ride. If we look at trend, even for Amazon, it's been going upwards as well. We got a trend line. We put a line here. If we were we could go up. We can cover, we can hit these two. We can hit these two candles, or we can start at these candles and go up to current price, which is going to be in here, right? Which puts you in it coming in and bouncing back up a little bit. So it's been on an upward ride and pull back a little bit. This really could just be a little bit of a pullback, retrace, so it can go up some more and have a little more power going upwards. I probably would go with a put credit spread as well. Again, none of the stuff that I talk about is investment advice. You are the CEO of your own portfolio. I really just am showing you what I see. And, what you decide to do is totally up to you. Okay. I'm not an investment advisor. Good point. Thanks. I'm picking up what you're dropping. You picking up what I'm putting down, Tanya. I love it. I love it. So yeah, if we looked at Amazon on the put credit spread side, I probably would look at the 162 or 160, 162 or 165 spot. Let's see what kind of money we're talking about. Market is closed, so these figures are going to adjust once the market opens. But you always want to give it, especially on the first day of the week. If you're on the first day of the week, you definitely want to give it about 30 minutes to let all the weekend orders settle down, right? You don't want to be in the fray. You plug in my computer. You don't want to be in the fray in all the mashup when the market first opens, right? You want to give it a minute. As a seller, we don't have to rush in. Okay, sellers don't have to rush into the market. We can wait, give it some time, see where price goes, and suchy. Okay, if you wanted to look above that resistance, you could look up above 174, 175 area. If you want to look at 175, 177.5, there's money up there too. This is a 2.5 spread. 2.5 spread means you're going to leverage $250 and collect your premiums based on what you see. Again, I always suggest that you get at least 10% premiums. If you're going to leverage your $250 in collateral, then you should collect at least $25 in premiums. If you can do an iron condor, which is a call credit spread and a put credit spread at the same time using that same collateral, then you can almost double your money, take in about 20 or 25% returns with the trade going for the week. Always suggest that, okay? Always suggest that. We looked at Amazon. We looked at XLE. This whole list is here. If you follow me on social media, and while I'm saying that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, hit the notification bell, right? Go ahead and make sure that you always see what I have going, all righty? If you want to send a super chat, we will not be bothered by that. If you appreciate us coming here every morning for the free and hanging out and sharing what we see, then put a super chat in there every now and then. But if you follow me on any social media, you should be able to see this graphic. Well, definitely on Facebook and did I put it on YouTube? I know it's on Facebook at this point. If you follow me, if you get email from me, it's in there as well. I always put that graphic out on the weekends to include trade ideas. Trade ideas. Okay. TLEQ is one that I trade regularly. Let me see if we can go there quick before we start to wrap up our call. I have to teach today. I am teaching from home today, but I still have to go and do it and be sure to set up. We're teaching from Zoom this morning, which means I got to do a little bit more setting up in that. I have to make sure all of my technology does what it needs to be doing today. Okay. This is TLEQ. Drop right down to this trend line that we have into this gap. There was a gap here between these two candles. There was a buyer's gap created, and Friday's candle came down about partway into it. I know the bottom of this gap will provide some support. Okay, and then we really could put another line. We could also put a line at the bottom of this. So 56.19 is some support on TLEQ. It's coming down to the neutral part of the Bollinger Bands. So neutral will operate as some support as well. So let's see, we got an upwards moving. So that means we're going to look at the bullish move first. Maybe about 54, 53.5. If we're looking at probability out of the money, plus minus 3, we take 3 away from here, we're at 54. Yeah, about 54, 53.5, 54. Could maybe give us a little bit of room here. Looks like about $7 if you leave it as a 50-cent spread, which is $50 of collateral. But if you widen it to a 1 spread, you can collect about $15. Of course, you can widen it further. If you like the strike of 54 and you want to take in more premiums, you can change the buy leg to 53. You can change it to 52, and collect more premiums. The whole point really when you're looking for your strikes, the sale leg is the one that matters most. That's the one you don't really want to be breached. And if you widen the spread, you get a little more room right at that strike for there to be a little bit of a breaching. The question is, do you use spreads on TLEQ? I do. Trading up. Definitely, I trade TLEQ each week. Actually, I trade TLEQ on Peakbot. Peakbot is what I use. Peakbot.com is what I use for my automated trading on spreads, and it does put credit spreads or the wheel strategy, and I allow it to do it on with TLEQ. With Peakbot, they have a free trial, by the way. So if you decide you want to check into what the bot does, you select the stock. The bot will enter the trade based on a 30 delta for the sell leg and a 10 delta for the buy leg. And it will enter that trade, and then you can close it whenever you want. It doesn't close trades. It lets them expire worthless, but it will enter the trades based on the proper time and a good amount of premiums. All righty. Do you recommend trading only TLEQ and SQQQ? Not necessarily. I think that you should trade the things you're comfortable trading. I do like TLEQ, and SQQQ has kind of been struggling because TLEQ is going up, SQQQ is going down. So from that standpoint, not necessarily. I'm a fan of whichever is going to provide good, steady returns for us as far as resources go. I like being able to take about $400 or $500, picking several different stocks and trading them. Okay, come on now, buddy. And trading them and pulling in about 10%. So I try to diversify. I don't put all the eggs in one basket. I try to diversify it. So if one part, doesn't go well or tanks and another stock is fine, then you get, where one stock may be doing fine, another one's not, you have balance. So if you put all the money in one place and it goes south, then all the money was in one place. But if you diversify it, then you don't have to work. What one can carry the load for another. I was trying to go to SPX, but seems like that doesn't want to run. Here we go. Let's put it here. I want to see where we opened at this morning. It's like we had a little bit of a gap down. Let's go to the 2-minute candle. Little bit of a gap down. Looks like we opened at 49.85. It's already got a little green going. Oddly enough, this MACD has a red candle as its little pretty bright red candle, and the red is strengthening. So this is like a little bit of divergence. MACD is showing downwards, but the candles are showing like they're going upwards. And the RSI is showing oversold. Overbought, oversold. Oversold. Here we go. It's down here underneath. Oversold, which means we want some buying, which is weird that it's showing oversold, and then that we're at the coming again into the 5,000. Okay. Again, definitely wait. Let a few minutes. If you're a buyer, then of course do what you do. But we're sellers, and as sellers, we wait till stuff settles down a bit. We wait till the dust settles. Buyers like to jump in when the volatility is going, and maybe let that work out for you. But as sellers, we kind of sit back and watch a little bit. That's the way my cousins used to say it, sit bike. And I'll be like, sit bike. I was raised in Florida where, my cousins were from Alabama. They said things a little bit different, than I did down here. Okay, let's see. What else did we have on this? I think I shared on Sunday night, I shared that we had, I can bring this up, that for the second week of our small account challenge, we made right at a little bit more, maybe a little bit more than $300. So we're a little bit over $600 for our 2 weeks of our small account challenge that we're doing. If you're still in, listen, some people jumped in the challenge and I ain't seen hide nor hair. If you're still in the challenge, we're still over here and we're still trying to help you out, make sure that you can grow your small account. Right? We have a community where we're communicating each week, and we're making sure folks are getting trained and everything that they need in our small account challenge. So we've made a little over $600 so far in our small account challenge. Remember, as a reminder, I keep reminding us about this all the time. We are still going left in 2024. Don't jump out the ship, right? We get 1 or 2 strategies. Credit spreads is one that we're leaning in on steadily, and we're trying to make sure that we focus on one strategy. Even if we use it for multiple stocks, let's pick one strategy and get really good at that, and let's master that one strategy. We're getting education that we need to make sure that we're comfortably being able to trade it, right? And then focusing on the fundamentals, which includes our charts. If you haven't seen it already, I do have a free webinar that's called Start with the Chart. It's called startwiththechart.com. You can go there. It's a free webinar on how to read stock charts. Start with the chart, how to read stock chart. A lot of people just jump on something because people say, oh, this NVIDIA is going up. Let's use that as an example. But if you know how to read charts, you may see that NVIDIA may be coming into a very harsh, resistance. Now, NVIDIA is currently at a 52-week high, so we don't know the resistance up here at this point, but you still want to know what's happening on the chart. How do you understand the fundamentals, candles and trends, and using some indicators? You want to do that. So go and check out the startwiththechart.com. Again, it's a free webinar that I created for you to just do some charting analysis, and then make sure that you're trading with a trading plan. All right. Trading with a trading plan. I just put out a new video this morning. Actually, it was uploaded about Robinhood, doing your spreads on Robinhood, because some people are newer to this and don't necessarily have the broker, the Thinkorswim or Schwab. I think at this point, if you're just starting with Schwab, they're making you, I want to say $5,000 is the starting place with Schwab, which TD Ameritrade didn't have that kind of a minimum starting balance, but they're TD Ameritrade has been taken over by Schwab. So if you want to still trade spreads, you may want to use Robinhood, and you need to know how. So I have 2 videos on my channel that talk about entering Robinhood spreads and exiting. How do you exit Robinhood spreads? I put up the exit one this morning. All right, go and check those out. New videos on the channel. Oh, don't forget, like and subscribe. Okay, E2T membership is going. We do this morning call 5 days a week as long as the market is open. We have weekly training calls every Wednesday. And then we do monthly coaching calls on the first Saturday of the month where we learn our strategies. We have a community where we trade together in Telegram, and we help all the people make sure that we're making good trading decisions along the way. And it's $97 a month. You're welcome to come join us. We have curated a wonderful community of people who really work together to make sure that we all win. That's one thing I love about the stock market. If I'm winning, doesn't mean that you're losing. We can both be winning at the same time, and we can win at different levels. You can win at the level that fits your budget. You can win at the level that fits your portfolio. If I'm trading $100 and you're trading 1,000, we can both be winning at that same, stage. Doesn't have to have a lot. You don't have to have a little. Everybody can win at their own station, right? Everybody can win at their own station. Let me see. Are we ready for our declaration? Yes, we are. Okay. Our trader's declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My accounts grow more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Does not trade my emotions. Our daily prayer, Lord, it is you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. Okay, looks like SPX has hit a little bit of a spot. We're hanging right along the bottom of this Bollinger Band on the 2-minute chart. Let me switch us over to a 5-minute chart. That MACD still was showing this strong red, and we are showing oversold. Down here is oversold, right? Oversold means you need to buy. I don't really use a lot of indicators. There's a little bit of good strength red here, right here. Again, trade what you see. Trade what you see, especially if you're 0 DTE. Now, for those of you who really are into 0 DTE stuff, I've got a lot of videos on my channel that will help you with how to trade 0 DTE, how to trade XSP, SPX. There's a whole strategy. If you want to go to spxplaybook.com, it's put into a playbook for $27. You can have a whole strategy that shows you how to trade SPX using the power hour time. So really just less than 2 hours of trading each day and generate at least 10% without exposing yourself to SPX all day long. You can use the SPX playbook. You can find that at spxplaybook.net. spxplaybook.net. You can get it for $27, and it tells you exactly how to utilize SPX 0 DTE spreads during power hour in the afternoon. Tells you exactly how to do that and generate at least 10% profits every single day. Go and check it out. Check it out. Got several things on the website, on my YouTube channel, that talk about 0 DTE stuff as well. I need to swing back around and spend a little more time on some 0 DTE stuff with SPX and XSP. All righty. I think I'm going to wrap it up. Every day. Good morning, Patrick. Ain't seen you in a while. Every day we do 2 things in our community. We stay green and we get this money. All right. I want to wish you a great green day, and I will see you in the market. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.